Hello there, Gia.
Hello, Keisha. Hello, everybody. Welcome to
Gia's
Monday.
Monday. Yeah, it felt like a Monday, and Gia's all stuffed up from the weed whacking.
I got a little, grass and gravel up my snout, but it's all right. It'll clear up.
Okay, all right.
We'll
You,
see.
you,
Yeah.
you sound sexy.
Yeah, right.
No, you don't really. You sound
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Oh
Anyway,
dear.
so yeah, we only have
Anywho,
today, right? Because
yeah, that's right. So, and in spite of the fireworks, there was no love making.
no, there was no, but we had a lot of soapy stuff happening. We
We
did.
did.
Yeah.
Where would you like to take us first, Gia?
I want to note some vocabulary that caught my ear first.
Okay. Sure. All right.
We had the word performative, which I
Oh,
thought,
performative is coming up a
yeah,
lot lately out in the
what's up with
world.
that? Yeah, performative.
I guess it's just sort of like for appearances, you know?
Yeah. But why weren't we using that word before, and why is it
I think
popular
we were
now?
just saying for appearances.
Yeah, and now we have a word that does all
Yeah,
of that in one
all
word.
of that. Yeah, I guess so. I guess it
And
sounds
then,
more professional.
we had weaponize again, which I think we've had before, but it's such a hot
Yes.
word right now.
It is, yes. I can't remember who used the word performative, though. Do you remember?
Nope.
And there's another little English
That's not
break
part
for
of
you.
my job. I don't have to say who said it. I just heard it and it caught my
Mhm,
brain. It caught the tip of
mhm.
my brain. Oh, and I also wanted to commend you on you've been like Johnny on the spot on answering Facebook comments, which is nice, very nice, and you're
Well,
right on it now.
I've been trying a little bit, but I that doesn't mean that you shouldn't look also, Gia,
Oh
because
no, well I see them all, but you've
yeah.
answered it. You're doing a nice job. Before you were kind of ignoring Facebook, and I felt like I was trying to.
Yeah.
Had to explain Facebook to you a little bit. And you were sort of
Well, it's
resentful of the
not a
whole thing,
book.
you know.
It's not a book.
And it's
So
not a face. That's
it's
the
not a
weird part.
face,
Yeah.
and you don't even have to show your face if you don't want to. So,
I have a slightly older musician friend who's just decided to start using Facebook,
oh
and he
boy.
posted a few things, so I was complimenting him on posting, and I said, "Have you liked
Ah.
anything yet?" And he was like, "Oh my god, no." You know.
Like that would open up a
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
Pandora's box, yeah.
Yeah, and he's just posting music so far, and I said, "Well, and you could branch out and maybe put some pictures of your dogs or your kid, like." He
Mhm,
was like, "Oh my
mhm.
god, that's so personal."
Yeah.
And so I was trying to explain to him how it's nice to be sort of reciprocal about
Mhm.
things. So like there are people that just post and then they get off and you don't have any interaction with them. And so I was
Yeah,
saying,
yeah. Mhm,
you're not selling your soul if you like a post.
mhm,
Like
mhm,
it just shows that you're like seeing what they're up to too. So it's like a two-way
mhm.
street.
Right, yes.
And
That
I
and
feel like you and I had a little bit of that. Like I was trying to explain to you that.
well, then I guess I learned my lesson, Gia, because
Yeah,
do you know
yeah.
who I liked or who I followed on our Facebook page for
I
you?
did see that we got a badge or something from not a badger, a badge.
We're all about the Badgers here. Everybody knows that.
The badgers.
Mhm.
No, but who did we get a badge? I don't
I
remember.
think
Just tell me.
from the Onion, but
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I started following one of your like Sugar Bush
Oh,
groups.
it's Sugar Bush Harlequins. You
Yeah,
did.
I kept seeing it, and I was like, "How do they know that we want this? And why hasn't Gia already
That's my
followed it?"
fault. Yeah, because I follow it at my own personal page. I didn't want to make you have to look at the
You didn't want to
beautiful,
inflict your horsey love
beautiful
onto
spotted rumps that define the Sugar Bush.
filth. Filth.
Um,
Yeah, and
well,
they
thank
haven't
you.
bombarded us yet, I don't think, but
Okay. Yeah.
that was just a little gift for you, Gia.
Thank you. That's very
Yeah,
kind.
and I have been trying to like other like Stone Cold and those
Oh, I
sometimes
think
they
maybe that's who we got like
yeah.
something from there.
I also kind of hope that maybe some of their followers will say, "Oh, who's the table at the Tano? What the hell
Table
is
with the
that all
Tana. What is
about?"
that?
That
I see
doesn't
what
make
you're up
any
to.
sense.
Yeah.
The
Well, look at
Tano.
you fully participating in this little fake world that is
You're
Facebook.
garbling now a little bit, Gia. I don't know what's going
Oh,
on.
okay.
Okay,
How's that?
that's better.
All right.
That's better. Yeah.
Well,
Um,
anyway, I just wanted to give you like kudos and good work and keep it up and all that stuff. Cause
Thank you. I like the positive reinforcement.
sure, yeah,
I don't know if I respond to it really ultimately, but I do enjoy it in the moment.
okay. I could do some the opposite. I know you have a little oppositional streak. So
I'm complicated.
okay.
I know. That's just another word for bitchy.
No, no.
Mm,
Um. Anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to start with a shout out on the nice vocabulary.
yeah.
Um.
Uh-huh. Hmm.
And I don't know, where do you want to start? I mean, we had some big stuff and some little
Mm.
stuff.
Yeah, and some stuff that wasn't pleasant. And there was like sort of
Like,
well, I guess let's just get the unpleasantness out of the way
all right,
first.
okay, go for it. What was
All
unpleasant to
right.
you?
Well, as always, the Lulu Brooklyn shit, I just
Yeah,
we knew
yeah,
it was going to play out this way, I think, didn't we? And we knew Lulu was going to be gunning for Brooklyn. I was a little bothered that Dante knew what was going to happen and sort of let it happen.
yeah. Well, I mean, he
But
just probably knows her well enough to know there's no stopping her. We just
there's no
got
stopping her.
a
Yeah, and
bee in her bonnet.
yeah. Do you think a little part of him was like, yeah, you go yell at Brooklyn because this shouldn't have
That, yeah,
happened.
could be, because
Yeah,
he's pissed at Brooklyn right now.
yeah,
I like the visual at the end though. Like Brooklyn has such dark
yeah,
hair and
yeah,
Lulu is so fair. It was like Snow White and Sleeping Beauty, like
yeah,
having a
yeah.
slap fest, you know?
A slap fest. That was she clocked her pretty good. Did
Yeah.
Brooklyn throw the first punch at their last little skirmish?
I don't remember. I
I
don't
think there was a
remember.
slap from Brooklyn on Lulu's
On
face.
Lulu. Yeah.
But I don't think it was that hard. And yeah, that concerns me a little bit.
I wonder how
I
they
mean,
do that. I wonder if it's just a
yeah.
sound effect or and and then you swing your head and make the hair
Right, right.
fly over,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. I don't know. It looked pretty real, didn't it?
Yeah, that's what I
Mhm.
wonder if people like if like no, I'm a method actor. We're gonna really do this, like
And I insist you
I
slap me.
insist. Yeah, we've gotta authentically hate each other.
Oh man, that would be funny.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, I did not care for that at all. And I mean, I do think Brooklyn was at fault for getting that ball rolling, the Rocco ball, and also being sloppy with the files. Everybody in this town is
yeah,
very, very sloppy
very
with their
sloppy.
files.
Yeah,
If you're
sloppy.
gonna
Yeah.
have a paper copy, people, keep an eye on it for crying out loud.
Right.
Okay.
Like, and knowing that her plan was to leave it somewhere
Yeah.
and then say, "Oh, I didn't go through with my plan," but in effect, she did go through with her
She
plan.
did go, yeah, because there are no accidents, are there? On some
Right.
level, maybe
Right.
that's exactly what she wanted to do.
Have you ever been slapped like that?
I used to I used to invite people to slap me.
Oh my God,
Well,
what in
not entirely, but I can't remember how it started, but I used to have a pretty high threshold for pain. Like I could do a belly flop like nobody's business at the pool down the road.
Wow. Okay.
And then I remember, like, on the bus, I can't remember if I was, like, in middle school, but there was one girl who really relished the the idea of slapping me across the face, and so I didn't show that I was upset or anything, so I think, she may have done
Wow.
it more than once, yeah.
Was this like a nemesis, like an arch enemy kind of thing, or just a
Well, I think it was just like we were everybody's at that age where there's some meanness that sort of rises to the surface because everybody's just kinda insecure, you know?
okay?
That's not
I
enough of
don't
an
think I ever saw
explanation.
anybody slap like that. Like it.
Yeah. Anyway, it happened on the school bus, and a lot of things
Wow.
happen on the bus that may not happen anywhere else, so,
It's true. Yeah,
you
I
know?
didn't enjoy
Yeah.
my bus time either.
No, no.
Wherever we were, if possible, I was a walker or a bike rider, but I did
Mm,
some time on the bus too.
yeah, I did all through even through high school because I didn't get my license till later.
Yeah, and I did the bus and my brothers in high school, and that might have been worse, like
Yeah, yeah, I would think so. For them too, having you in the car.
yeah, having to cart that little sister around. Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Uh,
Yeah. I was an
yeah.
era like one brother. They both had Volkswagen Bugs, and I
Mhm.
remember for a while one of them had like. And why were my parents not paying attention? Like things weren't working, and he had something rigged up to shift, like
Uh-huh,
some sort of long
uh-huh,
rope that would actually do the shifting. Like I mean, I
uh-huh.
was like, I mean,
Yeah,
they're practically like a Fred Flintstone car anyway with your
yeah,
feet. I
yeah.
mean, that thing was so rusted out on the bottom, you could see the pavement going by, you
Uh-huh.
know?
I guess they weren't
And my
inspecting
parents were just
cars.
letting us get in this
Well,
death
they
trap
had
and
their
go to
hands full planning their next key party, so,
yeah, I guess so. I don't know. They're probably like, "Well, it's not very far to school. They'll be fine."
What's the worst that could happen?
The whole car, it was so rusted out, it was, like, covered in what was that stuff called? Bondo that, like, you
No,
kinda
yeah, that
yeah, that you'd
beautiful
cover
gray
things.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and then you just paint
Mhm.
it over, it's, like, it's fine.
Yeah, yeah, mhm.
Anyway, okay, well, I'm sorry you had slaps like that. I was just thinking, I don't think I've ever been slapped like that.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
It's alright. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
But I do think she still got that strike against her in my head, the girl who engaged in the
Well,
slapping,
yeah,
you
as
know?
well she should, of
Yeah.
course. I mean, that's a little bit of a psychopath, I think. Like, and
Maybe.
just for no reason to want to slap somebody? Like, or what? Is there
Yeah.
something precipitating this? Like, what did you do something?
No, no, I don't think so. Because I think we were sort of friendly on the surface, like, I'd been to her house. Her dad was a real
Huh.
estate agent.
Huh. Interesting. All right. Well, I'm glad you got away from her. God.
Yeah, yeah. Mm. Anywho,
Anyway, okay, so Lulu and Brook Lynn, yes,
yeah.
unpleasant. We knew it
Mhm.
was coming, but there's going to be some delicious, like it's like the pot calling the kettle black, of course, like
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, and are they on they're not quite on equal footing. Lulu, I think, still was what she did was worse, obviously.
um yeah, cuz she was intentional and she was
Mhm.
going for it and she just never quit.
Yeah.
Um and even if she hadn't been overheard, I think she was going to reveal this anyway. She was,
Yes, yes,
on the
uh-huh.
path to revealing it. So
Yes.
yeah, I agree. But of course, maybe we're both agreeing because we dislike Lulu at the moment.
Yes, yes, quite a lot.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, we do. Yes. I
Mhm.
there was an interesting twist when Rocco first
Oh,
confronted.
yeah. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Um. God, you get like a little excited there. I just remember how we were saying like I don't get what the big deal will be. Like
Mhm.
we kept thinking that she was trying to prove that Lulu wasn't really
Yeah,
Rocco's
right.
biological mother or whatever. And
Mhm,
so the
mhm,
twist for me that I thought was interesting was when he said, "So, but might not even have been born because you guys put me on the
mhm.
shelf,
Right,
and so
right.
you didn't really want me at all." I mean, and they smoothed it over later,
They
And
did, but yeah, I
but
thought
at the
that was
time I was
interesting.
like, yeah, it was interesting. It was a good way to make it
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah, so it
oh,
wasn't just sort of a harmless, trip through another vagina.
right.
You know? I think that's what they're calling it these days, Gina. The whole vocabulary is changing, the way people talk. Catch up.
Because I mean, right, without that piece, it's just like, well, that's weird. So she gave, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think anybody likes to sit around thinking about who gave birth to me. Like,
Yeah.
that's not a pleasant thought, you know.
It's not. Although, have you ever like counted back to like the around the time you were probably conceived and wondered like,
No, like that's weird too. Like you've done that.
yeah, I don't know why.
You're revealing all kinds of weird, disturbing shit today.
Well, I just like my parents didn't seem all that affectionate, so I sort of feel like there was
You have
probably like
like 1,000 brothers. Obviously, they were a little bit affectionate at some point.
except that Johnny might belong to the
Oh,
tennis
right,
pro.
the tennis.
Oh god. Anyway, I'm sorry, we digress. But yeah, and
So
then
no,
that
I've never done that. That's
okay.
creepy.
Okay. All
And I
right.
knew that I just knew
Do you
they
want me to
wanted
do it for
me.
you?
No, I knew they wanted me because they had two gross boys and they just were
Yeah,
they
yeah.
wanted a girl, I'm sure.
And
Obviously.
then they got you.
Yeah,
Got to be so careful what you wish
I
for.
know my poor mother.
It's just like, wait a minute. I guess I didn't fill out the form completely. I didn't just want the X chromosome.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so what were you going to say? How does that, any of that relate to what was going on with
um,
Rocco?
yeah, I guess it doesn't so much, but in that instant, though, he had a lot more in common with Geo because Geo
Geo, because
has
Geo
this
didn't,
feeling like he doesn't think he was wanted, because he was given
right.
away.
That's
So
true. Yeah, yeah. And he thought he came out of a different vagina as well.
yeah,
And so
yes,
it's
yes.
just like wandering vaginas sometimes.
I know. Did anybody come out of the intended vagina in that town? I think
You're
it's the
putting
heat
this,
that's
you
getting
are
to
putting this show right in the gutter.
me. Oh dear.
Is it hot there? Is that why you're
It is,
being,
yeah. It's in the 90s today.
oh God, would you turn that off? I'm going to be there in a few weeks and I'm really
I
looking
know,
forward to
I know,
cooling down. And
I
so
know. It seems like
we're
it
cooler
goes
than
for
you. How
like
weird.
it is weird. And well, actually it's been a little breezy, so it's probably nicer outside, but it seems like it only hangs on for 2 or 3 days and then it goes back to like what it should be. So, hopefully you'll
All
hit
right.
that other stretch. Um
Um, okay. Well,
anyhow.
let's hope that.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so that was interesting. I give credit to the writers for adding that little kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
angle to it that made it, you know,
It gave it
so that
some
we can,
depth.
yeah, so we can hang on to something. Because otherwise, some teenage boy would be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, okay, so I had a surrogate mother,
Yeah.
whatever, you know,
Whatever. Was she
whatever."
hot?
Yeah, exactly. How do you think they're going to work Brit into? We all know that Brit's supposed to appear somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. And they've painted her out to be such an awful
Yeah, the
devilish
Brits.
woman now.
Yeah,
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 like all the stuff that's floating around about her is bad. Although
right,
in the previews for tomorrow, Rocco is going to talk to Jason, right?
right. Yeah, and so he, of course, will have some positive things to say.
Yes, yes, he'll be able to balance the scales a bit for
But
our
how do you think
friend
we're
Britt.
going to see her? Is it going to be like in a dream? Is Rocco going to like meet his faux mommy
Mm.
in a dream or something? Or
I yeah, she's got to show up for real. I just don't know. Yeah,
does she?
what would
Why does she have to show up for real?
well, if she's gonna come back. I hope. Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess she could be an
Remember
apparition.
when Alan came back as a ghost all the time?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, sure, sure.
It could do
All
that.
right.
It could be a ghost.
That's true. Yeah, okay, so we shouldn't rule that out, I guess. You're right. You're right.
I'm rooting for something more whimsical, I guess.
Okay, I'm rooting for something that will last. I want her to stick
Oh,
around for
well,
a while. That's why
yeah,
I'm, you know?
that would be nice, but I'm not getting my hopes up, so I'm trying to think of
Yeah, you're probably being realistic where
an
I'm
alternate
not. Yeah.
way that they could do it. I just
Yeah.
also think that I mean, not that we ever should trust a death, but how do we ever trust death on a soap opera if they just undo it all the time?
Yeah, that's the problem. We never do.
They undead people.
There's more people in that town who have been dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, that's just the nature of the soap opera,
I
I
get
guess.
that's true. That's true.
Amnesia is a much more
Right, the
real
twins,
thing. Yeah, the
amnesia,
evil twin. Yep, yep.
popping out of an unexpected vagina.
Yeah, yeah. These rogue vaginas.
Yeah, that's
Hmm.
a good band name, the Rogue Vagina.
It would have to be a punk band, wouldn't it?
Yeah. It'd be funny though if it were like a sort of more like an Eagles, like a soft rock,
Like an Air
like a.
Supply cover band. Imagine that.
I wonder if there are any of those. There's
I
like cover tribute bands for everything under the sun, but I don't know if I've ever
know.
heard of an
I
Air
know.
Supply one.
Yeah. Hey, I just saw that
What?
Foreigner with the original Lou Graham are going to be
Yeah.
starting a tour in December, I think.
Wowza. He's a hell of a
Uh,
singer.
he is. I like Lou Graham. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
You are complicated. I think you might have a little heat stroke.
Oh dear.
Tell us how many times you saw George Thorogood so far.
Just the 2 times. The first time he was warming up for the Rolling Stones, and for
Uh-huh.
some reason I thought he did a good job. So then when he came back like on his own, I thought, "Oh, that could be fun." And it was like, "Wow, that was way too much George Thorogood." So, yeah, I'm not proud of it, but yeah, twice. Then that's yeah, 2 times more than I've seen some people that I love, so that doesn't make any sense, does it?
Yeah. I'm proud of the fact that I never saw Styx.
I am also proud of that fact, yeah.
They came through town, and I actually there's a lot of Styx I like, but the Dennis DeYoung era was
Mm-mm.
is that the right name? Dennis DeYoung.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Like
Was it?
that's when they were like huge when I was in high school and they came through town.
Mhm.
I'm like,
Mm.
no thanks. But
Really? You liked him, like, pre-Dennis DeYoung?
yeah, there's some stuff that yeah.
Okay.
What's the guitar player? Tommy Shaw?
Mm. Yeah, that sounds right, gosh.
Yeah.
This is
I'm
good
filled with
knowledge to keep in
useless
our brains.
useless
I know. We don't know who said performative on General
yeah,
Hospital.
but I know
Just
Tommy
today,
Shaw is the guitar
just
player for Styx.
just 3 or 4 hours ago. It's gone from our brains, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Now, what else did we have? We had a little bit of stupid Anna interrogating
Oh,
Sidwell, which I don't
yeah,
know. Like,
that was
wish they'd do
pointless.
something with her.
I
You know.
know. Yeah, she's got she's got more layers, and she's kind of a terrible cop. I mean,
She's a
everybody
terrible
knows
cop.
that,
Yeah.
you know. It seems like it would be more interesting if if she does want to sort of like rattle Sidwell's cage, send somebody else out there.
Yeah. And shouldn't she be more in touch with Jordan
Oh,
on the Sidwell stuff? Oh, did you lose me?
yeah, a little bit. Sorry, what
I was
did
I
you
was
say?
saying I feel like Anna and Jordan should be talking about Sidwell,
Yeah, true, true.
not having girl talk about Jordan's, you know,
Pants
ongoing love of
feelings.
Curtis. Yeah,
Yeah.
pants feeling for Curtis.
Right, right. Yeah, that was not good information. But yeah, I don't know why they don't sort of put their heads together on that one
Right,
more.
because Jordan was taking this job to get
Mhm.
intel, and she's not
Yeah.
reporting to anybody. She's
No,
just
she's not.
like
She's just
she's
enjoying
just
the job.
enjoying the job. Yeah, it's like I get to wear cool clothes
Yeah, I'm
and
gonna get a new place. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
so that's kind of silly.
Yeah.
Speaking of Sidwell, at the end we had a little bit of I think what you feared was going to happen, where
Yeah.
Marco, like
Yeah.
they're going to be gunning for
Mhm. Mhm.
Sonny, and that maybe Marco's going to
Mhm.
join the dark side with his father.
Yeah, and, I don't know if Anna could have thought this through because she's not a good cop, but maybe they should have, like, acted like they were gonna continue the investigation just to kinda, keep Sidwell at bay, and also
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it looks like once again, she didn't really think Sonny was a suspect because they're friends, so, she didn't look into it too deeply. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, that would have it probably wouldn't have satisfied Marco, but still it would
Right,
have
right,
looked better.
yeah,
Uh
and maybe he
yeah.
would have calmed down a little bit, I don't know,
Yeah.
but anyway.
Um Speaking of Sunny, we had a little silliness with Sunny and Laura, which I don't
Mhm.
get. They made
Yeah.
it seem like Laura was like being tough with him about something, and then it's all like, "'Cause we're like buddies forever"
Yeah.
thing.
I know. I know. I thought their conversation was gonna have a little more substance to it, but all he
Yeah,
said really was, "Yeah, the violence has come to town," and,
yeah.
yeah, and she wanted to get more information out of him, but he didn't really give her anything, did he?
I don't think so. And then we had
Yeah.
The Boyle silliness.
Yeah, yeah, that guy. Ugh.
That guy. I hate to say it. I hate to point it out, but he does have good hair
Well, it doesn't surprise me that you would have
for
noticed the hair.
an older gentleman. He has a nice thick.
Mhm,
You know, you don't
mhm,
see guys around our age holding on to that much hair and
mhm.
being able to style it in that longer way like that and have
Yeah,
it look
yeah.
kind of decent.
Uh-huh. So, are you starting to warm up
There's
to
no pants feelings. I'm just kind of pointing it
yet?
out that
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
I bet he's the envy of his cohorts of a
Mm.
similar vintage. Like, look at all that hair you have, you know.
Yep, you're probably right.
This is
Uh,
mildly related to General Hospital.
mhm.
So, you know that we used to play music with a nice fella named Phil.
Yes, I do remember
Yeah.
that, yes, up here in Maine, mhm.
Yep. He also has a beautiful head of hair.
Yeah, yeah, okay, I remember
Yep,
that,
he does.
mhm,
Sometimes he grows it
mhm,
long. Well,
mhm.
his wife worked with Jeannie
Oh,
Francis.
that's true, that's right, yeah, yeah, she
Yeah,
was like the manager, right, of Jeannie's
right,
store.
of
Mhm,
that store. And so they
mhm,
knew each other, and her husband, who
mhm.
was on Star Trek The
Star
Next
Trek.
Generation, was
Mhm.
always complimenting our friend Phil on his hair and was kind of jealous,
Oh,
envious of his full head of hair.
doesn't he have pretty good hair too, though?
Well, it makes me wonder, does he? We don't know.
Ooh.
Little mystery. Maybe he
Yeah.
does. Maybe that's showbiz.
Mm.
Maybe it's showbiz hair.
Showbiz hair, yeah, okay, alright, well, you got a little bit of the dirt here, people.
Little bit of
Uh,
I don't know. I'm not saying. I'm just throwing out gossip
mhm,
there that I
mhm.
made up, that I created.
Rumors that we're starting to
Yeah.
circulate that may or
Great
may not.
album.
Mm,
Rumors.
mhm.
Anyway, that's what I think of Boyle. Boyle is kind of
Yeah.
fun, comic relief. Um,
Yeah, but he's
but it,
supposed to be getting his hands dirtier now, right? At Sidwell's
at
orders.
Sidwell's, right? Yeah. So
Like
Sidwell's
maybe
running the
sorry.
show in the town right
Do
now.
you think Boyle has little Daisy in the back of his car right now?
That's the other scary thing. So
That's like
Daisy,
legit scary.
yeah, and she can't even protect herself because somebody's put oven mitts on her hands.
She's all sewn up into this bag.
What the hell? I was like, does she have chicken pox already and they're trying to keep her from scratching?
Uh-huh.
Why did she have those mitts
Yeah.
on? Is that a thing
I
with babies?
I
now?
don't know. I don't know. We didn't need those.
And we had to walk 80 miles through the snow just to get to school. Yeah, I mean, I thought, well, maybe it's a thing that they do with babies now that has some, like, maybe they,
Maybe.
do they scratch themselves or something?
I wouldn't think so. I mean, she's only like what, a week old or something. I don't know.
Do you have fingernails yet? Do you come with fingernails?
But I would think they take a little time to
You
grow, right?
probably didn't have
I
any
probably didn't.
from the get-go, yeah.
I know, I was probably
You're
chewing them
chewing yours in the womb.
immediately. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've got a bad feeling about this, and then I just
yeah.
started chewing my
I
nails.
don't know whose vagina I'm coming out of today. I didn't think these people were all that friendly with each other.
Oh, God.
Anyway, yeah, scary. I don't like a baby snatch story.
No, it just feels like they couldn't be more fragile. Like, I just don't know how you could. I mean, and of course, we've had other babies stolen before on the show. That's another one
Sure,
of
that
those
happens
sort of
all the time.
all the
Yeah.
time. That and that for that reason alone, it seems like everybody should keep the baby very close by at all times.
What I wonder, and I would hate to see it go this direction, is are we going to
Mhm.
see that some housekeeper heard her crying and picked her up and has her like is this storyline going
Mhm.
to be about gaslighting
Mhm.
Sasha
Right,
and
right,
making
right.
Sasha appear unbalanced for some
Yeah.
unknown reason? I don't know who or why would be motivated to do that.
Ooh,
What
that's an interesting thought, Gia. Because I mean, well, Sidwell could have sort of arranged with some staff person to just, sort of wander
driver
the grounds
nuts
with the
like
baby.
yeah,
Yeah, who knows?
like
But that's an
go in and flip
interesting
the
idea.
baby around. Go in and put a different onesie on her. Change her mittens.
Give her a cheeseburger. That'll keep Sasha
Put the
guessing.
mittens on her feet, like
Mhm.
stuff like that. So but that's occurred to me that somebody, because we already had like Cody sort of gently
Yeah,
probing, like, do you think these things really happen? Kind of
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and
And he
she's
seemed a
already
little.
said it could have been my mommy
Right,
brain,
right, and I like that Cody was trying to be more respectful today when they were talking
Yeah,
about it, but yeah,
yeah,
it does seem like it could so easily start to look like she's a little bit,
a little
addled.
fragile,
Yeah.
addled. Yeah, and I don't like that.
No,
I
I
don't
don't either.
do
Sasha
not
has
like that.
suffered enough for crying out
She
loud.
really has, like, let her have a tiny bit of happiness here and
Yeah,
there.
like, maybe a couple weeks with her baby? I don't know.
Yeah. Um,
Like, just enough
so
time that she gets to know the baby, but is a little bit tired of her, you
it is a
know?
cute baby too. It had some
Yeah,
good smiles today.
yeah, she was hitting all her lines. Mhm,
Yep. Yep.
mhm.
Um,
Wiley's got some competition.
Look out. Yeah. Well, and we haven't seen Ace, who was our favorite baby for the
Oh, Ace
longest
was a
time.
very, very good,
And
very
I'm sure
strong baby.
he's like 12 now or something, right? We don't
Yeah,
know
he's
what.
probably, like, yelling at his agent, like, "What's happened?"
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? Hmm. Although,
Um,
didn't did his mom have some sort of a health issue, Ace's
oh, that
mom?
sounds
The
vaguely
twins?
familiar. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Who
So
knows? But
maybe
yeah.
Ace just had to stop not, doing the
Yeah.
show. And there were two
Yeah.
Aces, of course, right? They used
Yes.
twins all
Uh-huh.
the time. Yeah.
Yep. Mhm.
So there's two Daisies too, I'm
Yeah.
assuming.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Double Daisies.
Double daisies. Hmm.
Um, so anyway, yeah, I don't like that storyline because it's scary.
Mhm.
And if it's to make Sasha look crazy or something, then I don't like that either.
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah.
It's
And if it's just
bad,
to
bad.
like what fuck with Sunny, I mean, that's just,
It's
an
diabolical,
invitation.
that
It's
kind of, yeah,
diabolical. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
So,
so those, yeah, those little storylines, well, those were kind of the big
mhm.
storylines.
Yeah. Oh, and
Um,
also like related to that, Michael, what was I gonna say? Oh, when Michael was talking about Willow and like the stunts she pulled at the pool, I didn't think of it as a stunt really. Did you? I don't know if he used that word exactly, but he acted
I,
like it was,
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
I think he's he's kind of changing the narrative there.
Mhm.
You know, it's a public place.
Yeah.
Um, I think like he saw how broken Willow was, and
Yeah.
of course he's
Yeah.
gonna want to at
Mhm.
least see her child. And like,
Mhm.
why isn't he keeping them at the Quartermain pool?
Yeah.
Uh,
Right, right. Yeah. So,
have
yeah,
we ever
that seemed
seen a
to
Quartermain pool? But we know there is a
mm,
Quartermain
we
pool.
do know there's a pool, yeah. They must have a hard time coming up with 2 pool sets.
Yeah, that look different.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a little bit mean spirited of him to
Yeah,
phrase it
I
that
thought
way.
so too, especially,
Yeah.
like, to tell he was talking to Brooklyn, right? To, like,
Right.
share
Yeah.
share that sort of, like, story with Brooklyn. I mean, it's one thing if that's what he's thinking internally, but to have somebody else believe that also, that's not great.
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird. This Michael has such different energy than the
He
other
really
Michael.
does. Yeah, he does. Mm.
Not necessarily mean or anything, but just this sort of there's this like more calmness about him or something.
Mhm. Yeah.
Brings a little something different, something something
Mhm. He
to the
does.
page. Um,
Yeah.
Not in a
Uh,
bad
s
way, but just like
no,
a
not in a bad way, yeah, people seem to like him, we like him, but
I
yeah.
like him. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, we had Brooklyn and Cody have like a little. And
Mhm.
first, for a minute, I was like, no, why are they mad at each other?
Me
I
too,
couldn't even
me
remember. I
too.
was like, God.
I know. Yeah. That I
But I guess that went okay. That was sort of a nice, like, realistic
Mhm.
confrontation between a couple of friends, I guess.
Yeah, and that seems like that's sort of the right amount of intensity for it, I
Yeah,
guess, instead of like the Lulu and, being so
yeah,
like, I don't know, like on she's just so singularly focused on this little thing that,
yeah.
you know, I don't know.
I I feel like I'm kind of beating a dead horse here because we have criticized Brooklyn's wardrobe so much, but
Mm,
I'm going to do it again.
okay.
Um, I just think that I didn't like dislike what she was wearing today, but
Mhm.
everybody else is dressed for an outside 4th of July
Yeah.
hang around
Mhm. Mhm.
what is that place called? The fish house, the pond house, the
The the
what do they
boathouse?
call that? The boathouse. Yeah.
Fish house. That's cute.
But like Michael's dressed in a
Yeah,
summer
yeah,
short sleeve shirt,
yeah.
Cody's in a t-shirt and jeans.
Mhm,
Like could
mhm.
we just even if she's still wearing pants, could we put her in like outdoor wear?
Yeah, yeah, I know.
Rather than like office wear. She's like I don't know
Mhm.
what. Like
Yeah.
she's still wearing this little spike heel boots. Like
Mhm.
I mean, she doesn't have to be in, I don't know, like hiking gear or anything, but just something that says summer 4th of July. Like she could have been in
Mhm.
a
Mhm.
long sort of wrappy kind of thing that would cover everything, but
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, just something sort of a
sort of summery and I don't
gauzy,
know.
cottony kind of thing maybe.
Yeah, yeah. That
Mhm.
I don't know, like. And I
Mhm.
mean, that's not like that's just wardrobe, but I just think, wouldn't you? She's obviously like off work, right? Because it's a
Mhm.
holiday, and wouldn't
Yeah.
need to be in office wear.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I'm wasting a lot of space in my brain on this particular
Well,
topic.
I also I like Laura was wearing like an orange sort of a top with a black
Yeah, the
blazer
black
over it,
blazer. Yeah, but
and
she's the
that
mayor
I,
all the time.
but that seemed like a Halloween color scheme to me. I don't know. It just and
Yeah,
also
it's a little bit frumpy look too.
yeah,
I mean, yeah.
yeah. I don't know. It just seems like the palette is wrong for some of these people when it's this
It's
time of
not a
year.
summery palette. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not. That's the problem I have with it, I think.
Okay, you're more color
Okay.
focused. All
Yeah.
right.
Oh,
So
although
what?
on the
Oh, what?
ooh,
What?
I'm
Oh,
glad I remembered. I really liked the way Carly looked in her dress because it was a nice
oh,
print.
yeah, that was a pretty floral print. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's a perfect example. Like that's seasonal.
Mhm.
She still looks
Mhm.
kind of professional and
Mhm. Mhm.
flattering to her shape. She's not like,
Yeah.
rail thin or anything. Like,
Right, right, yeah, and it just seemed like there was a little sort of more effortless, like, some of her dresses have too many, like, I don't know,
too
too much
many
going
moving
on.
parts. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, so I just sorta like that one a lot. I like a print, you know that.
I do know you like a print, but not an
Mhm.
animal print because
Not necessarily an animal print,
I don't
no.
know why you don't like an animal print, whereas I do.
I know, I know. Well, maybe it's the color scheme. I like the colors of her dress also.
Yeah.
Okay,
Anyway, I mean,
anyway.
couldn't we put Brooke Lynn in a dress like that? Maybe you could make it long
Yeah,
sleeves if you
yeah,
wanted to, if it's the
right.
arms that need covering, but,
Yeah, that would be nice, I would think, yeah.
I think that would
Mm.
work for her. So
Mhm.
if you're listening, wardrobe,
Yeah, yeah.
whenever you're thinking of dressing Carly in, try it on
Mhm.
Brooke Lynn next.
Yeah.
See
Yeah,
what happens.
just a little suggestion,
Just a
you
tip.
know?
Yep.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, Another big thing we had was Vaughn and
Yeah.
Joss and their
Mhm.
plot to snag Emma, which has already worked
Mhm.
like a freaking charm. And
Yeah.
I feel yucky about it. I don't know how you feel about it, but I feel yucky.
I feel yucky also. Yeah, I well, at first I didn't like that she was so quick to respond to him. And
Yeah.
also, like, does that mean that, like, she and Gio are really just, like, solidly platonic, just friends?
Right, I know. That's too bad. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, she just so quickly. I mean, I think it has more to do with her rivalry with Joss than
Yeah,
being
yeah.
attracted to this guy. But I don't like. I
Mhm.
didn't like how he um said to Joss that kiss never happened. I did like how
Yeah,
quickly she was like, "Yep, nope, what
yeah,
kiss?"
yeah,
I do
and yeah,
she's cool as a cucumber. That Joss.
yeah, and left him wondering if she was just playing along or if that was how she really felt.
Yeah,
Right?
she's
Mhm.
slick, don't you think?
She is, and good for her, yeah, because she deserves better than this guy, for
Yeah,
one.
I mean, she just is like a fully formed adult, even though she's young. She's like
Mhm, mhm.
operating on a level that's above her
Mhm.
years. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, I agree, yeah. Like, even when she's talking to her mom, she's
Yeah,
gotta, sort of, like, compartmentalize and, like, sort of adjust her filters, you know? It's a
yeah,
lot.
yeah. She's good.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, and then I didn't like his little story about the beagle and it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I know
Yeah.
he's a spy, so he's like, these are
Mhm.
the things they're good at, and that's what they do. But
Mhm.
I don't like him running a con on Emma, and
No, and it's just what? To keep her away from the professor, right? It's not because
right.
they wanna, like, bust her for anything, so that
No,
seems
it's just they want to be the ones to bust a
y
professor. Like, why aren't
yeah.
they teaming up with her?
Yeah, I guess that would be wrong too, but I don't yeah, it seems very scummy to be
I think
playing
it's
her.
gonna come to the point where they are gonna team up with her.
Maybe. Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
ultimately, they are on the same side. They all want to bust
Mhm.
this
Right. Right.
this sketchy professor,
Mhm.
who's a
Yes.
beagle torturer.
Right. Well, in
He
Geo
set his eye on just beagles for some reason, which are
y
very
yeah.
cute dogs.
Yeah, I guess they're probably well, I don't know what the rationale is for picking beagles, but,
You did
that's,
the other day. You said something about it, didn't you?
yeah,
Tell us
because
why.
yeah, there was just, like,
They
I don't
look
know.
the best in the mascara and lipstick.
Well, there was, like, a whole like, a slew of beagles that were, like, freed from a lab or something in the last couple of years, and, like, bunches of them went, like, to different shelters around the country,
Yeah.
and I think some came to some main shelters, so, yeah, so, maybe they're being phased out of the makeup racket. I'm sure they were being tested,
But yeah,
with
we don't
other
know if there's something like genetically about the beagle that makes him a better
yeah.
test subject or something
Yeah.
like that. But
Right,
yeah.
right, yeah.
I know
Anyway.
who wouldn't be a good test subject? Jack Russell's.
No. That would serve the scientists right.
Or like chihuahuas, like
Oh,
little
yeah.
terriers. They open up a
Yeah.
freaking can of whoop ass on anybody
Yeah.
that
Yeah. Right.
even tries to like kindly help wipe their bum or whatever, and suddenly you've lost
Oh,
your
yeah.
hand.
Yeah, you
Like,
can't do that. Nope.
remember your dog that she tried to kill us? We were trying to
Yeah,
help her.
little
Yeah,
chihuahua. Yeah, they're
yeah,
feisty. Yeah.
yeah.
Vinny's got some chihuahua in him too, I think, and he doesn't want you to help
I can
clean
see
have
that.
him
He
clean his
doesn't want me
bottom.
to do any. He doesn't want me to be alive, Vinny.
He does
Vinny hates my guts.
No, he doesn't. We'll
Yes,
have
he
to
does.
see if we can get you two on the same page, and get some footage
It's
for
not me.
our
It's all coming from him.
well, he must pick up on something. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
It must pick up on something, Vinny.
Oh
Oh
god.
god. Oh, she's got
Anyway,
this dog. He's the cutest thing in the world, but like I don't know if he's the most poorly behaved because I've had some very poorly behaved dogs,
he's
but
pretty
he's one of
poorly
them.
behaved. Yeah, he's not at all housebroken. He's like the very
No,
opposite of
he's
housebroken.
never gonna be. He's trying to like
Never.
teach you to just pee wherever you want. Like
Yeah, yeah,
try it, mom. Try it.
yeah. He's like
It's
talking
so
to the other
freeing.
dogs. Yeah, it's so freeing. Yeah, and he lifts his leg as high as he possibly can, so that makes it even
Cannot
worse.
wait to visit.
I've started cleaning, but oh.
I have some masks left over from the pandemic.
Oh man, yeah, you're brave. You're very brave.
Bring some
Mm.
candles, what have you. Um, anyway,
Oh,
so yeah, so I'm not digging Vaughn. I mean, I'm still admiring his hair, but
of course,
he's
yeah.
and he's looking a lot older than both girls,
Yeah, and
which makes him feel a little more sinister or something to me.
yeah. He just looks like a stalker or something now. And like, again, like the pool is a weird setting for some of these people. I think, I mean, I know it works for their storyline to like see Emma and everything, but it just seems like a improbable that they would be hanging out at the pool.
Well, and improbable if he's a custodian that he'd belong to
Yeah,
this
yeah,
be going to this sort of hoity-toity. I guess it's not a club, right? Because it's a hotel pool, but
yeah.
open to the public. Like that's a weird.
That's very weird. Yeah,
It's not
maybe.
just for the patrons of the hotel. I guess.
Right. Maybe you can
Uh,
pay like a guest fee. I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, it's strange.
do you think we could find when I'm visiting? Can we find a pool that's only like
A
a foot
pool
deep and
and do laps in it.
go do some scenes there?
Do some broadcast from a pool.
Yeah, it's only a foot deep pool.
That would be fun. All right, I could look into that. Sure.
Just
Sure.
kidding. I don't think they exist.
There's a
I can't
lake
believe
that's
they couldn't
pretty
spring
shallow.
for
Yeah, like
couldn't
a
spring
proper
for a
pool.
yeah, or just one more foot, you know.
Right. I mean, it's fucking
It's just
California. There's
water if you're
pools all over the place.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
California. Yeah, it is California, right?
Yeah. Yeah, although it's
Do
not
some
supposed to
film in
be,
New
but
York or something? Or am I
they
thinking
never
of
have, but there are other soaps that have filmed in New York. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
right. Or oh right, we're supposed to be in New York, but we're actually in California,
Yeah.
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 So
Hmm.
my brain was like going something. It was like there was a little knock at the back of my brain going,
Hello,
you,
anybody home?
you can do this. Can you can think this thought through. You're almost there.
I'm glad we could witness your triumph
My
there.
poor little brain. Uh,
Mm, hmm.
my brain is like a can of spam. Like if you open it up, there's just like a lot of that sort of like gross jelly all around it.
Ooh,
And just,
oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's what it's like up there.
I think mine is, well, yeah, that could be the plaque from the Alzheimer's too, taking
Right, the
hold.
plaque from the and I was like, "Fucking didn't sleep well last night." And wake up like, "Well, I've
Yeah.
got it."
I'm one day
Like,
closer to having full-blown Alzheimer's, honey.
whenever I have a shitty night of sleep, I'm like, "Well, there it is." That was that was the that was the night that tipped me over. I'm so angry. I'm like, you have to get good sleep. You know you do. And
I
yet you
know.
persist in not letting me sleep well.
Same here. I
Uh,
keep waking up earlier and earlier, and it's just like, oh man, we're doomed.
yeah, and it's honestly it's a conversation that's like a bad one between my husband and I because he's like,
Mhm.
if you would stop sleeping on the couch and just get up and go to it's like a kind of my theory is that I try to stay awake out there as long as I can and
Mhm.
so that I won't wake up early or like
Mhm.
trying to shift my
Yeah.
hours. And
Yeah.
his theory is that I go into my deep sleep on the
Yeah.
couch and then I interrupt,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
There's
Uh-huh.
got to be a sweet spot somewhere, but I think it's too late. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, we're
I think
fucked.
we're fucked.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anyway,
We
have
failed our Nariva experiment, so that
yeah,
was the writing's on the wall.
yeah. Did we cover all things hospital? That I mean, we only had one little episode, so
We did only have one little
yeah,
episode. Hmm. I guess so. Yeah, I think we did. I think we did.
we
Yeah.
covered kind of most things. All right, so
Mhm.
well, we're looking forward to like how are we going to see Brit? How and
Mhm.
when are we going to
Mhm.
see Brit? Um,
Yeah.
we're gonna have an ongoing cat fight tomorrow.
Oh man. Yeah, that'll be interesting, I guess, to
I'd
see.
like to see them with both with their hands with some fistful, like one hand with a fistful of blonde hair and one hand with a fistful of
Oh
black hair.
yeah.
Like just
Yeah.
a
Yeah. Like
flat out.
just and bloody noses and yeah, like
Yeah,
some
yeah,
real like visible damage, I think would be good.
yeah. Um, yeah. I don't know. I don't, and there's no like who's in the right. I don't know. Like they've both been poorly behaved at this point.
They're
I guess.
very poorly behaved, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they have been. Yeah. I don't know, but I feel like now they've done their worst, right? So now it's a case of do we just like hold a grudge forever and make everybody around us
Yeah, I was
miserable,
miserable. Yeah, like
you
where do we
know?
go from here? Right. I
Or like Lulu could start to understand, I think, how terrible the damage was, having seen Rocco
I
upset.
wonder, wouldn't it be lovely if they had a big arc? Like, remember
Mhm.
how Brooklyn and Maxie
Mhm.
bonded over
Yeah, the
the
baby.
baby? Yeah,
Mhm.
it
Yep.
wouldn't it be lovely if we had another arc like storyline where they somehow had to
Mhm.
um
Yeah.
become become friends over
Yep.
something? I don't know what it would be,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it
Now,
would be
how
more
does
satisfying than this endless cat fight.
it would be a lot more satisfying, yeah, because those relationships, when they're sort of forged in that, sort of controversy and the animosity, like originally, those
Yeah.
are they're always good. But do you think I can't remember how Brooklyn feels about Brit? Do you remember?
Uh, I don't. I sure don't.
As I said it, I was like, "What are you doing? You saw what just happened."
I surely do not remember what they what their interactions even had been like.
Yeah, if they had any. Yeah, because I'm just wondering, like, if maybe they would. I don't want them to join forces against Brit, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't want that at all. I'm
Yeah,
just trying to figure out like what might bring them together.
right.
Except
Like
maybe just knowing that Gio and Rocco are brothers now, and they don't want them to be just awful all the time.
maybe a medical crisis where one child needs something or so, one
Mm,
of those
uh-huh.
kinds of things. That's a
Yeah. Yeah.
classic soap
It is,
plot
yes,
line.
definitely. Yeah, and then we'll
Yeah.
find out that neither of them came out of the proper vagina.
Yeah, like you actually, yeah, right. I know. Who would it be? I don't know.
I
Heather
don't know.
Weber. You actually
You're Yeah, you're both Heather Weber's
It's
children.
Heather Weber stole you. Yeah. I
Oh,
don't
man.
know. Anyway, it wasn't. It was a no. It was a pretty good episode. Had some soapy.
Yeah,
It
I
was
guess they did.
It was a little bit frothy.
Yes, it
Frothy,
was frothy. They did pack quite a bit, I
like a
guess, into one episode.
cappuccino.
A cappuccino. Yes,
Yeah.
that you might have at Sonny's little restaurant.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Mhm. Okay.
Now I want coffee. Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Well, we
Okay.
hope everybody had a good fourth.
Yes, and we hope you took our advice and were with somebody that you wanted to make out with if you were watching
Yeah.
fireworks.
Inched ever closer to somebody when that big
Oh,
fireworks display brought you together.
yeah. Did you have anything like that down there, Gia?
Um, we did a little cooking out. It was kind of pouring rain off and on us, so we were cooking out
Mm,
underneath our carport.
mhm.
And we didn't go to fireworks, but we just stood out in the road and watched fireworks all around.
Okay, okay.
No,
Mhm.
there was no like sudden urge to do it or anything. I don't think that.
You
But I
didn't
was pretty full.
grab each
I'd had a
other's
lot of
hands and
so I
rush
had a
into
lot of shrimp kebabs and what have you.
Oh, yes, just like a Hallmark movie, you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, but I hope the rest of you all got it on
Yeah,
and
yeah,
had a good
me
time.
too,
So
me too. I didn't,
yeah.
needless to say.
Did you even see any fireworks out there? Probably not.
I
Huh?
heard 'em. I could hear
Yeah.
them both on the 4th and the 5th. There was
Oh
another
yeah, we
batch
usually
that
have
went
like
off.
a week of leading in,
Mm.
where people just
That's
can't help
wonderful.
themselves. They can't
Yeah,
help it. They're like, "Oh my
yeah.
god, I've got to let them off." Yeah.
And then the ERs are packed with people holding
Yeah, and
their
you're hearing the
fingers. Yeah,
sirens. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh
Mhm.
well. Oh.
Whoopsie. All
Anyway,
right.
okay. Well, we will talk on Thursday.
On Thursday. Yep. Okay, Gia. Well, you have a
Okay.
good
Have a
night.
good one.
You
All right.
too. All right.
See ya.
Bye.